Alrighty, it's that time of year where, Art Fight has come around and a lot of artists are looking to get new tech or replace old, just broken stuff. Or even just beginners trying to browse and see what they should buy when it comes to trying out digital art. Well, I personally have been using a Huion Pro 12 since I was 14. I'm now 17. And personally, I think it is a alright device, but I wanted to list some of the benefits and downsides of using a Huion Pro 12. First off, some benefits of using it. If you already own a laptop or computer, or anything that has both an HDMI and a USB port, you can use the Huion Pro 12 with that. It even means that the Huion Pro 12 is compatible with a frickin' Xbox 360. Although the pen does not work, sadly. I have tried. It just doesn't have the right drivers. But with that, it also means you need an HDMI port on whatever you're using for the device that you're connecting it to, as the Huion acts basically like a monitor with a touchscreen. So if you have a VGA port or any older ports for a computer, you will need to buy an adapter. An adapter can range anywhere from $4 to $15 depending on where you buy it, what quality, all that jazz. I personally find that as a massive annoyance. As somebody who has had laptops break, it is not only a hassle to find a device like a laptop that takes an HDMI port and is affordable, but it is especially more annoying having to deal with using an older computer and a Huion. Now, another advantage of using the Huion is that the buttons on the device itself, not the pen, there are 4 of them as well as a slider. This is excluding your settings and your power button. You can hotkey these buttons if you're using something like a laptop, but sadly not if you're using a phone or any mobile device. Actually, it is extremely annoying to use a mobile device, but I'll get into that later. These can often be hotkeyed to be undo or anything like that. Or even just to, I believe you can make them open up stuff as well. I typically use these just as rotate one way, rotate the other, but I'm sure there's more beneficial stuff you could use them for. As well with the physical tablet, I haven't owned any other art tablets like this that connect to a laptop and only work with a laptop, but the back of it does have these nice silicone, I believe, paddings, where if you set it down somewhere, you won't risk it sliding off of something. And it does come with the same type of paddings on its stand, so it is quite nice for that. And in addition to the buttons that are already on the device itself, you do as well have 2 buttons on the stylus that you can also hotkey, but most programs will automatically have those set to be switching to your eraser or to a different tool depending on what you use. So it is an interesting thing that some programs already have that preset. I don't know why. Now, the cons. I personally have had a lot of issues with the Huion. Not every issue I've had has been solely because of the device, but a lot of them have been. The main one is that my Huion screen, I went through the manual about 100 times, and I looked through the website. The website is a mess, but that's a different issue. It is permanently tinted whenever I use a laptop to be the wrong colors. So anytime I do a commission using the Huion with its display, I have to make sure that I am using slightly off colors so that way it matches with the reference that I'm using. It is one of the most annoying things ever. I can't figure out why. I have gone through the settings about 100 times on both the devices for the Huion and for what I'm connecting to. Doesn't matter. I haven't been able to get it to go away. except for with a Windows Vista. I don't know why with a Windows Vista PC my colors are correct, but it is very annoying. Another issue with the huion, I believe I said I'd bring this up earlier, is that if you are using this on a mobile device, it is annoying. I know that cheaper $40 tablets that you can get off of Amazon that hook up to devices in a similar way to the huion, just without the screen, work fine with mobile devices. I'm not sure why the huion throws such a hissy fit. I have tried it with my phone, which was the only thing that worked, and it was buffery, it was messed up, it was busted. And the thing is, it worked across several programs, so my phone could actually read what was happening to it. It just didn't communicate very well, which could be the fault of the adapter. I will buy another adapter and have to see again, but just as forewarning, if you're using a lower end adapter, that could be an issue. And I am a little worried to bring up the large downsides of using a huion, solely because I do not wish to have legal action taken against me. I'm going to state this now, that I did not get a warranty with this device. I chose to not purchase a warranty. And that is on me for any damage that has happened to this device, even if the damage was not intentional. Well, you never really want damage to be intentional, but like I said, I believe at the beginning of this recording or video or whatever, I've had this since I was like 14, and I'm 17 now. And so, it has shown its wear. I have treated the huion with a lot of respect for the time I've had it. Despite that, the HDMI cable on the huion split. And I had to have somebody repair it, which was very, very, very risky, because repairing a cable like this is tedious. There is a lot of wires that go through the inside of it, and you have to match those up very specifically. Luckily, it was able to be done, but it is very bad that I had to do that in the first place. That's why I haven't used the huion's display in ages, and why I would recommend just buying a cheaper tablet, unless you need the display. And speaking of a cheaper tablet, I want to bring up the price of the huion. Now, to be fair, I spent roughly $340 in total for stuff that I had to get for this device and the device itself. I had to go and get a refurbished Windows laptop, which was about $100 plus I think $15 shipping, if I remember correctly. The device itself was very expensive. I got it bare bones, just the stand, the device itself, and the pen, with the little pen stand. All of that is the default. You can get rid of stuff, and it'll make it slightly cheaper, but I got what was considered the bare minimum. And it was still quite expensive in comparison to getting something like a used Fire tablet or Apple tablet. Although, to be fair, both of those I have used. Although I've only used an Apple tablet in passing, I haven't had the chance to sit down and really get my hands on one. But I can tell you, with a Fire Stick tablet, or however they go, I own one. It is a nightmare getting any programs on that. But that's a non-issue. That's a different type of review that I will one day get around to talking about. The huion's cords were really not designed very well. I do believe that later products have better designs, because this is a decently old product by them. But the fact that that split in 3-ish years, and I mean split to the point where I was considering having to completely get a new setup, is very, very annoying. Especially because on the website, I could not find anywhere to just purchase the cord. I believe that huion has probably made improvements since this device, because when I was younger, I got the huion because other fellow artists recommended it. To be fair, they got it for free, not for the amount of money I paid. I personally will never buy another huion product unless they show that they have made a decent step in increasing the quality of their products without it costing another arm and a leg. Because I paid $10 for a used Fire Stick tablet, like I said earlier, or whatever they're called, and you can often win these online for free. Don't go to shady websites, though. And the $10 tablet, I have done more commissions on than the $200 and some hardware I own. Because of the constant hassle of lugging around cables, of trying to set everything up, of needing a laptop. It is extremely annoying. It would be good if you were permanently set up somewhere, but for a younger artist, if you were on the move, rearranging stuff constantly, or really just like having mobility with what you're using, I would not recommend huion tablets that are designed to hook up to laptops. You can get a non-screen tablet that is portable for roughly $40 to $60 on Amazon. I get Amazon's a shitty company, but all things considered, almost every company is.